evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Nubia here on Crusader Kings 3 on the Lord Master channel, in which we have a new Duke, or Marquess, but he calls himself Duke as he insists on that. This is in the Duchy of Nobadia, in which adds a little bit of confusion because weren't the past rulers also called, I guess there were Dukes, but there's also Max. And this is also notable for Duke Lazaros that he is the first ruler to inherit via abdication, as his mother, Maria Iesousikol, the Pious, decided to abdicate her throne to become a nun, as she is now. But she's still here in the court, perhaps to give me counsel and whatnot, if I were to give her a position at court, but unlikely given who she was. Well, actually you can make her marshal or in a job for that matter. How about that? I mean, there are a few powerful vassals that you have to appoint. The excellence. Spy master, yeah. You still be there. The man Mario still be the man. I sometimes wish that women were part of the clergy in this religion, but not the case here, as she is only a nun, not to mention old and infirm, which means putting her in any position in the court, she'll do terrible, skill-wise. When you think about the aptitude. Not to mention some jobs are for men only. I mean, she wouldn't be a good tutor either. Again, terrible because largely due to infirm and the fact that she's shy. I mean, look at, well, who's the regent? Who's going to be regent presumptive, because I plan on traveling. This one's excellent. I don't think my mother, the nun, is optionable. Oh, no, there she is, but she's poor at it. Because she ain't what it used to be, due to the fact that she's infirm. She'll be incompetent at her craft. I mean, we're still a mock and have entitlement rights. But that entitlement rights, that's the only way to get the domain limit up. Well, and plus I plan on going to university very soon. Which obviously, Byzantium is the only option there. Which to do that, it's gonna cost you quite a bit. As you've done a bit of traveling here and there. Our experienced captains, and you might as well bring experienced hired mercenary guards. Well, actually, 16% chance that you might get a deal. Yeah, make some fortune while we're at it. Well, travel will be slightly dangerous. But once we're there, oh boy, it's gonna be fun. We'll have to make a few short stops here and there. So just to there, to Rhodes, to the island of Thera. And then pass through Chaos. Back to the sea, then into Constantinople, Byzantium. And then we'll go to trip around Greece and Anatolia. So I think my focus for this character is just going to be one of prestige, because if I'm going to be around for long, I would like to be the one to re-establish the Kingdom of Nobadia, which is a way to, you know, to declare our independence from the damned Mercurians. Because this whole time, we kind of get the impression that we felt more or less, you know, Nobadian than Mercurian, as far as nationality is concerned. Although I wouldn't go far all the way over there. Yep. Administration King as well. I don't want to venture off too far into this side of Anatolia, or even Armenia and Syria and those places, because I need to be back here at the earliest possible convenience. All that money is to be spent there, and I'll do all the work with all these tasks soon. So, ready? Let's go. You might be a Duke, Lazaros, but you're also a Taberna ogre. The unprovoked anger expressed by my mother came as a complete surprise. She's been under a lot of stress lately, but to behave like this, that she even struggles, it's calming. She became a bit more irritable due to her vengeful personality. Listen, she's been under a lot of stress lately. Hurt some legitimacy gain, which doesn't matter anymore. She was seen as an illegitimate ruler, and this was one of the main factors of why she had to retire to a monastery. But she's not at a monastery. She's right here at court. And I'm going to get away from my mother as conveniently as possible. It's finally time. It's finally a temperate time to wander the orchards of Egalitarian. Grab opportunity to do so. Dormant, yet still green, the trees wait for warmest seasons. Suddenly, a high-pitched shriek pierces the air. I quicken my step only to find a peasant child below a tree. It shambles and sobbing violently. It would seem to me to attempt to climb at a tree, or slip it and fall on the ground. One of the bone pipes protruding a strange angle. Well, as far as no one's concerned, I do not have a dreadful personality. I don't have any natural dread, so I'll be nice and just say, there. Oh, there was a threat of a possible peasant rebellion, but that's gone now. I could be good at any skill, King Odanis. Because as you know me, perhaps with time, my skills will increase, so I'll give it a go. And it's actually a good thing. As I said, I'm going to be more prestige intensive, so you get more prestige gain. So this is your priority for this characteristic of the rule. Not only become distinguished, but also illustrious. Get more prestige by any means. More prestige, more fame, anything. gardeners. She's past that age. You can do it. Win. Nature will provide for us. Boy, would that be funny? If I just die right now and Raphael succeeds as he's the one that holds the richer territories of my domain, of my realm. On our way to Viet, we appeared to stumble to a local food market. Everywhere peasants and nobles of every culture and tongue clamor around exotic food stalls. Near as thick with fragrance as I've never had imagined. My nose is drawn to a lowly stall stacked with a dish I could only dream of. I pulled on my haze, but a halting grasp when I said, "Don't waste up out of this slump, my lord. Bowls and stews over peasants, we have much finer foods at home." Because the humble I say, I can't believe you almost ate this garbage. Oh shit, I forgot to switch the lifestyle focus. I mean, what's good if you're not gonna be around for that? You only have one perk so far. Wouldn't mind having this and this. No, I would prefer to be an architect and all that. So, get this in case of times of hostilities. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I do gain trade power still, since we do have access to the coast. As we travel about an hour, we notice a woman loudly cursing her life and complaining about her traitorous crew. As we get closer, we see her standing by the remains of a small wrecked trading vessel. "My lord, can I ask for a moment of your time? I'll happily pay for some food and assistance with repairing my boat," she asked with a pained smile on her face. I noticed most of her goods seemed well kept, despite her misfortune. "My apologies, we are in a hurry. I just would like to get there at the earliest possible convenience." Oh, well, her income isn't great. Again, I'm not the culture head, but one day I will once I form the independent Kingdom of Nobadia. Thank you for that 50 gold. As we manage to get through a dangerous path here tonight, suddenly a strange feeling that someone missing brought us. I don't remember seeing him not just all day. He was keeping the rear guard as we entered a war-torn province. I suppose it wasn't the best idea knowing his bravado. He's already gunning for the front lines, unless he just got lost somewhere in the hills. But I'll find him myself. Just got ill. The plague is gone, and I'm willing to give it the money. Grim smell of ugly textures and mashed shells assaults my senses as I make my way through the precision Conjobless workroom. She looks up for the unction that she is preparing. "Time has come, my lord. I know several ways to treat your cold. Well, I'm fairly certain that a simple tincture would suffice. Choice is yours, and yours alone, she cries. It will not be pleasant. Do no more as necessary. She attributed my ailments to an unsound diet. To revitalize my body, she insists I consume only raw vegetables and herbal teas for a week, so as to not tempt me. And she confiscated my stash of treats, and she never returned them. The dietary restrictions turned up at just what I needed. For now, the worst of my sins are leaving, and the world seemed a little brighter." Hang on, I just reminded of myself of something in regards to precision. Switch to advanced research. you doing? Stack up your travels. And increase the altitude of everybody. You know, track regular game. We're not looking for any dangerous ones. Should times of hunting could go, because again, prestige is going to be the name of the game here. Switch to foreign affairs for a bit more prestige gain, fame gain, all that. Terra. Can do to reduce cost here. Again, Firm's our great capital, metropolis. Not to mention the grand city of the future capital of the new kingdom of Nobadia, or the Neo-Nobatian kingdom, whatever you people wish to call it. Okay, that's learning last time. Wash your hands, damn it. Reduced chance of getting illnesses. I'm finally here, walking the halls of Constantinople, the revered seat of all knowledge of the Orthodox world. I have so much to learn from the holy men and women who gathered between these venerable walls. And what about all the ancient scrolls and books? Of course, major centers of culture also active markets offer all the distractions that the student could ever design. To get started. Excuse me. My interpretation of Greek manuscripts was lauded. I gained a bit of prestige. Let's play it safe and stick to initial agreements for now. Because I don't want to gamble. Listen to me, Nubia shouts from anatomy. If you read between the lines of spiritual medicine, it's obvious you need to combine an empty cup, hawk-shaped chest piece, and a spear, all while adhering to the principles of reasons versus faith. Trust me, it'll work. What was a good idea from all this study for 36 hours straight? She's an eccentric and a hunchback. So I'll say, I don't have time for your nonsense. Shut your damn mouth. My in-depth studies in the Coptic doctrine at the Constantinople was confronted with so many new questions, none of which seem to have clear-cut answers. Some even have contradictory explanations. Is faith supposed to be completed by reason or not? Does faith only deal with the unseen or not? Can we even know what is unseen or not? Yes or no? There must be meaning in these contradictions, so my learning skill, even though I'm a genius, it's 20, so it's excellent. So 27% chance that my reflexes so aligned that it could help future scholars too. Gain a book artifact, massive success. 49% I feel wiser and closer to the truth, much more successful. 23% chance that I'm just more confused before, slightly successful. It all makes sense now. Massive success. I'm already at tier 2. I gain a book artifact. Yes and no. This book is a result of Duke Lazaros' theological and philosophical reflections while studying at Constantinople. It contains a deep, well-articulated discussion of the contradictions of Coptic theology and how to best reconcile them. That's nice. As I'm leaving class after a deep thought-inducing class by Adrianos, my attention is drawn by the chaotic laughter and screaming coming from the outside. No one is leading a donkey along, singing its praise. A crowd of students replies, "Hee-haw, sire ass, hee-haw," after every line. And they notice me, they join us, join us. The frown of Adrianos speaks volumes on his thoughts about the whole matter. This is outrageous. Much more successful. It's a joy that Mayor Marios Iesousikol is showing a significant initiative to increase my treasure by spending his own resources to further my financial position. Certainly a commendable attitude. Proper behavior on the part of Marios. He gave me 24 gold. Thank you very much. Constantinople was a renowned center of studies that hosts both teachers and students from far and near. I had hardly thought of much of it until today, when a religious reference from Mulku, what kind of name is that? Struck me as blasphemous and contradictory to everything I've been telling my life. It revealed him as a Venusko, an actual infidel. I don't know how to feel about this. What are you doing here? A Sami man, all the way over here. I don't care as long as he has something to teach. Gain 200 stewardship lifestyle experience and become much more successful. Tier 3! No doubt I'll reach Tier 4 by the end of this, which is a rarity. Unlike my predecessors. I haggled in the markets of Byzantium, gaining me gold and stewardship experience. Vassal tax contribution. And then start working on all of these. And try to get there, and maybe I'll become architect. Done with all this. Finally, no longer ill. It took a long while, but I live. Alright, my axe is improved. Now it's been given Glory Hound Vassal Levy Contribution. Thank you very much. Teaching at Constantinople takes place in the most part in oral form, and students are encouraged to exercise their rhetorical prowess to show the progress of learning in debates in front of their peers and teachers. Today, Adrianos asked me and Aristarchus to take up opposing sides on the topic of opposing compatibility diagrams to discuss it out. Let me begin from the scriptures that as everyone knows. 92% chance of my position is stronger, 8% chance I'm outmatched. I want a debate. My domain's being raided. What the hell? Brother, you're the man to lead the army now. The library's empty except for me and Nubia. I've been reading the same page in spiritual medicine over and over. It's of no use. I cannot concentrate. Not when she keeps gently biting the tip of her quill while softly running her finger across her delicate wrists. She keeps looking at me directly in the eyes while doing it. I think we deserve a break, my silence. Mutters softly. Must focus on book. I'm chased, you know. Who's trying to steal from me? It's been such an amazing experience. When I left, I could even imagine a number of wise men that study at Byzantium. The depth of their thinking and the purpose of research. Just being part of their same environments made me a much better person. With my new gained knowledge, I can make my way home very satisfied. However, during my stay, I've grown close to one of my teachers, Adrianus, although departed ways already. He would be a great addition to the court. 57, strong, great soldier. Yeah, he'll do. Because with him being craved, he'll less likely to get himself killed in action. And now, Nubian architecture. An excellent compilation of Nubian architecture, both current and historical. Flush of elegant marginella and informative instructions. The cover is ivory that's been painted to display a repeating image of religious symbols. Bit of prestige. Faster construction time when buildings and monthly stewardship lifestyle experience. This is exactly what I need. And in addition, I am also now a renowned administrator, Tier 5. Lazarus can take a failing enterprise to prosperity with a mere shred of attention. Riches springing from where once there was insolvency. Ha ha ha! Vassal taxes jump up. Not to mention a stewardship lifestyle experience. Do I need a small health boost right now? Actually, it's 15 and faster travel speed. Well, you're not building anything right now, so put that on. Wonderful. Go take care of them while I'll go focus on the travel. Stones, professional workforce, centralization. If I were to reset the perks right now, I could get all three. Then we can get, and then we'll become all that in a hurry. But keep this for the time being. I think it's better you just get it all organically. You just jumped yourself out of time. A woman of unusual skills. After we've traveled together for a while, I've noticed there's something about Ethnicities. Every morning she's up training, swinging her blade around. Even tonight, while everyone else is busy joining her, she is off on her own, going through her awe-inspiring exercise. I can't help but to want to emulate parts of her lifestyle. Can you teach me more about the blade? And I adopt her ways, and I become an aspiring blade master. So yeah, not only I know how to defend myself, but I know how to fight as well. And perhaps in future, I would like to go hunting. Up my prowess skill even more. You know what? Let's haggle, because my stewardship skill's gone way up. 66 gold. This procession's granted to halt the stones thrown away from Archaeodopolis. I look over to see my Courtier Adrianus dismounted and intently staring out something on the ground. The other entourage members are gathered around him. Adrianus looks upwards. My lord, there's an ant path here. I may be a tad superstitious, but you should never cross an ant path. The pauses. My great grandmother did. She never returned home. Fine. We'll find another path. Says my friend. I'll lose a bit of prestige for that. The inn we stayed there last night was horrible, to say the least. Something about the quality of its bedding and the atmosphere did not set well with many of us. myself included. When we try to save a night as we ride on, everyone on my thought is visibly tired and exhausted. We'll have to bear it. Let's go it again. Haggling fails. As we track through Denetza, our caravan stopped at a clearing bordered by leafy bushes. I proceed towards the commotionally defined Kajabo and Irina having an ivory bow. I have no more of your idiocy, you abhorrent fiend. Kajabo stamps her foot in there. You're the one who's whined. Those Tarjiri screaming, are we there yet? Every crossroads. Irina looked at it. Come now, sure you can make amends. You got it. Yeah, you got a bit of prestige. What a coincidence. We happened to stop by a certain village in Janitsa when the locals are holding a wedding between two great clans over there. The bride is beautiful and graceful in her traditional Greek wedding clothes, while the groom is just as handsome and charming. More importantly, this is just the start of a huge, lively feast of epic proportions, and locals have invited us to join in. There's plenty of food and drink to go around for everyone, even strangers. They say the festivities will likely last several days. We have places to be. We cannot tarry. Visited the tomb of the Thracian king. Long after night set, I'd find myself laughing, telling stories and drinking with Adrian's Kajabo and Simeone. I didn't know he had in him. Adrian's ends up telling a particularly ribald story about the four peasants he didn't fit him. After drawing my eyes from laughter, drinking a bill, claiming to I will tell. Ask her to tell another story. Chase them down. They have loot. Or wherever the hell they're going. You're not an organizer, but you gotta catch these bastards. While traversing a challenging path in Kavala, I hear laughter ahead. My friend Adrianus and my caravan master and the Sip are working together across a wide grassland-fed river. Adrianus, your idea to build a makeshift bridge was brilliant. Except not Sip, Adrianus brothers are good. You're quick thinking to those long grasses tied to rope together. Looks like he's on a journey indeed. While our road takes treacherous parts of Redina, while I scan for any dangers ahead, rusty bush grabs my attention. Could it be a wild animal? Brace myself for impact. Yeah, yes, it's Nesikito. That's how you pronounce it. Jumps out of the bush, set, holding a plant. You scared me. Anyway, see what you have here for next time. Yes, it smells so delicious. I wonder what it tastes like. I'll just take a little bite, she says. Ew, eat it. Damn, I would have loved to have that for myself. As it appeared to settle over the morning, I stayed on a stand outside the camp all alone. As I walk over to his notes changing wind. Huddle my clothes as part of huddle my clothes around myself. Cold wind hits my back. Cold whispers. It's time for winter yet again. Get back on the hours. We have more than enough time to watch scenery as we travel to fair. As we're traveling through Cassandrea, when Seb was called to my attention some plants he noticed be excited to me. The herbal plants over there. You see them? They are somewhat rare. I heard they can be found occasionally in Cassandrea, but to find a bunch here like this, if you'll permit, set up camp nearby so I could gather some. Any physician can make good use of them, including yours. Why not? We could camp nearby. It's gotten higher. Keep up. What are we going to do with all that money? Well, hunt for one thing, if there's any animal sightings. Visit Olympus. Success. So we could disband now, but we know where they're going. Either you get them or I'll get them. Okay, we'll get them. So disband now. Start making coin again. My entourage passes through Thebes without issue until I hear some commotion among my guards. Eventually, a stranger manages to put himself at stand at my attention, beaming as if blessed by God. By Jesus, by Jesus, by God! It's the Duke of Nobadia! I desire nothing more than to serve you unconditionally for the rest of my life. My guard standing ready to throw him back into the mud. We'd try to make a Lord Courtier. Oh, and also a man named Lazaros. Join me. There might be some use for you. He's said to be a noble, enthusiastic entertainer, monkey-like demeanor, gossip collector, unpredictable mood swings. B5. Iron Constitution. There. Now this time, if I ever get ill, well, it shouldn't kill me. You're doing great. We gotta spend all that money that will earn us more prestige. Maybe perhaps when I return, I'll be sure to build a church somewhere. You ought to have that, just to get the prowess up even more. Reduce the risk of commanding armies. You may never know I want to command an army myself, even though my martial skill is in question. We came across a gorgeous vista in Andravida. It's a beautiful view, unlike any other we've seen, and a picturesque expanse of landscape that truly shows the glory of our world. Several members of Entourage insist that we stay in this area for a day or two, so we could take time to admire the scenery. Let's pray thanks to God while we rest here. How's my mother, by the way? It's interesting. What is there to gain to expose her sins? Publicly denounce? Why on earth would I want to do that? Denounce her mother of a false crime. Why is that a thing? But and you can't even dismiss her court because she's close family. So she has to stay. But she's only killed 2 people, which was during her time as leading her troops back in those days. We'll be going to Western Anatolia coast. Hey, a landless adventure. The Noble Eagles. Who are they? Mashriki Orthodox. Okay. Shaibana Dynasty. The sea is calm and forgiving today. Still as a boulder and a powerful wind at our back to boot. Seems to be an easy day for the rowers below. Then I spotted a mangled corpse of a ship buried nose first in some jagged rocks just ahead. There doesn't appear to be any survivors, and the rocks would be no trivial thing to navigate. But if you're compelled to go investigate this mysterious wreck, investigate. Much to my surprise, We begin to hear a voice hailing from our ships. We approach the wreckage. The man appears to be a wealthy noble floating around on the remains of a door. Hail! I thought I would never see another soul again before the scene would claim me, as did my companions. He introduced himself as Timotheus, claims to be a noble from the town of Nicaea, and is offered pace for safe passage and company. You know, it's interesting that you're in the Sea of Marmara. I mean, the ship traffic would have been heavy. How did they not, find you out here? Well, he's ugly, but you make for a good spy master, if any. But I'll say join us in our travels. He could be useful to us. While walking down the road we noticed two cats, one gray and one white, near some trees playing with something curious as we edged closer. Peaches. They were playing with some peaches that had fallen on the ground in nearby peach. Do cats even eat peaches? I'm amused. I don't know. I don't want to recall seeing that. Never seen this event before. Well, I say it must be a sign from God. Good omen. Cute cats. While traveling, this character saw two cute cats playing with some peaches. It is believed to be a good omen of some sort. I mean, my cat in real life never plays with fruit. But I do remember the litter that he was once raised in where he used to play with like a small bug, a pill bug when he was a kitten. Anyways, as I get up in the early morning, I cannot help but letting out a loud yawn, stretching. As I make my way out, I tend to see that people are already moving about. I notice Adriano's heading off to what looks like a makeshift fishing rod through all the noise and bustle again. Where are you off to? I ask him. He responds with nonchalant sort. It's a nice day for fishing. Let's rest here for a couple days. So that way we can use our time to do the Silk Road trade, if any, if we get lucky. So I'm willing to stall for time instead of traveling. It seems that our caravans have gone a little lost in these foreign lands. That ship has been trailing around us for hours. Though they swallowed his pride and asked for direction, does not appear to be an expert Greek speaker. Fortunately, I'm fluent in Greek. Damn. We're walking among the hills late in the day. The darkness comes sunny, followed by dark clouds above us, and then a loud rumble of thunder. Soon there was another, combined with the dazing flash of lightning, and another strike brightly illuminating the area. The afterimage is burned in my eyes. I could see where the lightning struck. Now there's a quickly expanding brush front spreading towards us. Put out the fire before it spreads too far. 26% chance of success to call the fire. 45% chance the fire is stopped, but gets wounded. 27% chance the fire engulfs my entourage and I get wounded. Fire engulfs my entourage and I got wounded for this. Let's see. Most of the time, a bit of a prestigious intensive man these days. We gotta go for, well, first things, you gotta reduce the mercenary hard cost. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta go for that. Be a voyager. Do you know what? I'm changing my mind on our route. After Halicarnassos, we should actually go towards up in the Silesian Gates area. Yeah, let's go further. Learning, stewardship. Yeah, up to Georgia and Armenia, and then we'll go down to Syria. So let's go further for more silk trade. I mean, come on, nobody in Nubia will miss me down there. No, I'm willing to do that. Visit the capital of the Armenian principalities. Yerevan. Nane. And I will go down to Syria. Not towards Mesopotamia. Not yet, at least. So to Haran. And the Temple of Sin. Aleppo. And then we are golden. And we'll be on our way back home. Well, except, you know, take a bit of a left turn to there, then we're home. Okay? Sounds good? Yeah. Willing to continue my travels further in the name of riches. Let's move out. Plus, just to give me a little bit more of that stewardship lifestyle experience. And more time to make more money. Our path takes us to a sizable camp of Turkic travelers. The group vehemently gestures over us to join him. A tough-looking man stirs thick white liquid in a pot. He pours some of it into a small bowl and hands it over to me. Kumish, it's great for the bowels. Another two I may have whispered each other in their own language, just loud enough to hear them, but I don't understand their strange reason. Told they have good intentions. How good are you? Oh, hell yeah. Let us have this man teach us his ways. Hired Turkic war band. I've been making a lot of money, so I'm willing to spend to get this man in. And learned the Turkic language. Creative rule breaking. Just about to set out, starts pouring down rain. As far as the eye could see, I can't help but curse my poor luck, but I'd seen the dark clouds coming for a while. If we want to make our journey on time, we have to set out. But it's a risky journey with the weather being what it is. An opportunity to rest, I'd say. Leaves the entourage, so he'll be on his way home, I guess. As I travel along the road, I notice a frail-looking peasant standing along the side of the path. As I inspect him more closely, appears to be holding a small note. Please hold a moment. Times have been tough since my spouse has passed, and I'm at my wit's end. Would you be interested in buying my child? It pains me deeply. I cannot afford to keep her, and must sell to save what is left of my family. Her name is Eugenia. Blind, mother of blind children. Well, I'll make sure she's cared for. I don't have any children of my own, so why not? As we walk through the streets of Halicarnassus, there's a loud ruckus by one of the market stalls with two men yelling at one another before we can make our way there. The man's already stepped between, talked it down. See, it'll be fine, he tells the man with a stolid smile and hands him a solidity. It was a simple act of kind generosity, everything turns to normalcy. And he turns to us as we approach. No banner or mark telling me of any liege lord. Perhaps a wandering knight? An honorable knight like you should serve a lord, like myself. Taxman. Delay stacked on top of delay. The region where Charlie threw in Aphrodisiacs have suffered from an unusual amount of rain recently. The most been cleared, it's made the roads muddy. Most of it has been manageable till today. Some of our luggage trains got stuck in the mud, and we'd spent considerable effort and time getting the animal supplies unstuck and carrying them to drier ground. Hate traveling. This morning we asked for directions towards our next destination when locals passed by on Odysseus. I'm not sure whether we should have. We were lost, in other words. The directions we were trying to follow, were they bad directions to begin with, or did we just misunderstand? We were getting set to go, and now more delays! 3 delays in a row while we're still here in this same barony. There's a silhouette of a boss looms ahead. The rugged allies of hill forts command the landscape. A brutish-looking group of warriors approach. Their leader, of course, them all. My lord, he nods. We're from the men of Akon Macarios for garrison. For a small fee, we can protect you on the journey. What say you? You look strong. How about you join me? Spindly but strong. Arena, my courtier. One foot after another, I slowly move forward on the narrow mountain trail. Sunlight here. The rumble quickly started to scream. Shocked by the commotion, I whip around. I stare at Arena walking behind me, who's only an equally befuddled, tired-faced Nicodemus. I stand here in front of the fresh turn rocks. Where is Arena? I demand to know. My voice really scared my drama. All response is faint whistling of the wind. Oh. Oh, she will be in our prayers. That's my forder! So, she's gone. At least we're not going to be traveling by sea anymore. We can handle that. While passing through the hills of Phaselis, my courtier Timothy was about to trip over a hidden wire trap, but is swiftly caught by a fellow traveler, and yes, you can tell. Nevertheless, you need to be more careful, she admonishes, concerned, evident in her voice. Nevertheless offers a super scrape for someone. Thanks, by your word. Ah, must make haste. Alright. Passed through the back alley of Calladiopolis. I see a lonely child and her dog sitting behind a small wall. Corner behind a small wall. Here you go, Valerie. She tells us she hands a small piece of bread, keeping none for herself. Look at the two. Clearly the dogs have taken much better care than its owner. The kid must have given it everything. She'll be fine. There's some food, child. Also picked up another fact. Household enthusiast. Negated stewardship penalty +4 in stewardship for stress level. This character possesses an unwavering enthusiasm for all aspects of the household, from the culinary arts to interior design. They revel in creating a harmonious and welcoming environment. Their attention to detail extends beyond their private areas, as they curate elegant spaces that reflect their refined taste. The court is enchanted by their ability to transform everyday routines into moments of beauty and inspiration. 41 stewardship! Nothing like it. The Silesian Gates. We struggle through the Guardian passes, the craggy defiles between Asia and Europa. Above, in a wind-racked heights amid stones, Greek eyes watch us. It's said that these wardens, the Silesian Gates, in their high forts, once defended against the flood of the spawning heathens, now they keep vigil against raiding nomads and petty robbers. Well, some say they're a little better than brigands themselves, but still. Here, a few common conscripts in scrubby little forts safeguarded an empire. A fateful place. Died in the snow. The high altitude and brisk air have Gizistra has a very refreshing quality to traverse the local hill for. The soldiers in the valley below appear to be practicing some rare type of training technique I haven't seen before. I move in closer, failing to restrain my curiosity. While doing so, I'm approached by the local captain, Nicholas. Would you like to join him, my lord? You know what? I'm always up for the challenge. Rough terrain expert. You may never know that I will lead an army one day, during times of crisis. While crossing the river in Gizistra, some of our supplies came loose and fell into the river. As we watched helplessly as the water swept these supplies away, while a lot of our supplies are still with us, thankfully we've still lost quite a bit. My companions have different suggestions on what to do. Some say we should go downstream so we can recover some of the supplies, especially if they washed ashore. Others say we should cut our losses and purchase replacement supplies in the next town. Others say we should bury our misfortune and continue along. Purchase at the next town. We have lots of wealth. Very low now, flood. Never good. At least I'm not around to experience that. Because now you have this 2% chance of getting the Silk Road Merchant. From the previously secured 10 successful trade deals along the Silk Road, the more deals you conclude, the higher chances of getting the Silk Road Merchant trade. Alright. There's a small chance that I might become Silk Road Merchant for even more things. My father has passed. Night in his sleep. My mother, the good nun, she still lives, still at court. While resting during our trials, we were resting when Samuel went to search for some water. Seems he's really thirsty. He didn't have enough water saved up in his water skin. Unfortunately, he realized too late that the water Samuel drew looked like standing water. Many are aware that standing water, such as those found in marshes and wetlands, are often dangerous for drinking. Perhaps he was too eager or thirsty and wasn't thinking straight. Anyway, sorry if feeling a little sick. I know some herbs that can help. Just to get rid of that. For historical context, there's a stereotype that medieval people only drank alcohol or other drinks besides water, as water back then was of such poor quality. However, medieval people knew how to distinguish between water that could be safely drunk and water is not suitable for consumption. As such, they would, for example, avoid water near urban areas or marshlands while seeking cleaner water elsewhere. The mercenaries of Trapezus. We sit in a quiet tavern in Trapezus when a loud band of ragged-looking sellswords comes marching in. A brutish leader pushes one of my guards aside and Nade sits down with him. A noble man, eh? More interested in the service of the best mercenaries in Trapezus. More loyal men than you'll never find, at least if you pay us properly. Damn! Look at this prowess skill. I have a perfect job for you. You'll be my bodyguard. Yes, sirree. Lazaros Caseras. He's a courtier. I think I know who that man is. He's the one that says, by Jesus, by God, that. The guy who says, oh, he'll be useful to the court. And then, boom, he's gone. Oh, Adrianos. He died. We killed a storm at sea. He's the one that separated from us. He said, okay, we'll leave. I was beginning to have good friends with him, and now he's gone. Or am I thinking of another person named Adrianos? Come on, let's go. the most money I've had in a while. So-called trade could do wonders. In a corner of our camp near Gori, a shriek uproar breaks the calm. My fellow traveler, Iesousikol, confronts my knight, accusing me of holding a treasured brooch. You thief! This is my mother's! He exclaims, blazing with anger. Nearly denies her. You lying spawn of hell, that's always belonged to me. I didn't know you were a raving lunatic, in addition to being a silkroom merchant. Infected one. Both of you are children. Hand it over, god damn it. Peasant rabble. Another holy order founded. Is that so? But first, team of all manner of wildlife, Kajabo and I agreed that Lulu would be a splendid place to go on a hunt. While we don't have time to stay for a proper outing, as we traversed here, I spot a pristine wild rabbit at the edge of the forest. It has clear markings on its fur, and I motion Kajabo to survey the animal. As she spots the rabbit, she goes, "What say the friendly wager, liege? Whoever strikes that pristine fellow with an arrow wins." Sounds like a deal to me. Rabbit in sight, we both slowly but purposefully move closer to the rabbit, taking aim for its tiny body as it gnashes away at a piece of straw. I'll pull my string and release as the arrow goes straight into the animal's body. The sudden impact launches a few paces, and the tiny body slumps down on the ground, motionless. A roar and triumph. Kajabo joins me in my chair. "Nice shot," she cries. I thought, to pick up the trophy. This was fun. Paid 50 gold to me. So there's another holy order. There are no Coptic holy orders. I thought we had one. Where did the order of St. Anthony go? Huh. Can't win all the time. At least I'm returning to Nubia richer. Probably the richest Nubian alive. And I gotta do something with that wealth to make me more prestigious, as I will become extinguished soon by the time I return. As sides to me, Farrakhan, where the hot wind sculptor stands, the soldier watchtower stands rigid, its keeper in all state center of the great storm. The Steve guest, the mount sheds on the top. Is there anything I can do for you? Perhaps you'd like to join me to gaze upon the calm of the drylands? I mean, I knew that man looked around here, because I could tell by that hat. Oh, he's Persian. Let me see your skill. 14. Serviceable. Perhaps he could be our guide in these lands? We stayed on the road slightly too long and the sun's starting to dip below the horizon. Out of the serratic terrain shapes starts to merge and form angry looking armed figures. This here road has a total pay up, says the biggest and frankly ugliest of the bunch. Cavalry Master Nessip steps forward. Boys raised looks in his direction. Perhaps you take a payment in blood. You could get hurt for it. Because I'm in no mood of spending money nor getting hurt. Our journey to friends unfortunately brought us to the wastelands of Haran. We're not prepared to undertake this long stretch without a single source of water, and many of my companions began to look as awful as dried turnips. I need to do something, and fast. Need to push on. I'll be dehydrated. We'll manage. Sun scorches the dune himself. Oh, Kafat Tab, making each step a testament of endurance. Yet amid the severed expanse, an oasis of greenery blooms, an agriculture marvel in the heart of the desert. As we admire this anomaly, the steward of these lands approaches with a sun-worn song. Travelers, he calls out, come witness the fruits of our labor. Babel, Curie tells of our triumph to over the sands to back to homelands. Perhaps a simple will be a harvest to sustain us. Just to offset that penalty, a health penalty. Oh, bad directions. What directions? Look at the coast. Follow down the coast. One thing is we notice as we pass through Antarctica that every must figure claims to be a philosopher. At first I was skeptical of this, but after being roundly outwitted in my third conversation, I started to think perhaps there's something to their claims. At least philosophers are practically laughing at my least attempts at logical argument. What can I personally learn? As I'm looking through the market stalls inside, I feel my purse string cut. Despite my immediate reaction, the thief disappears to the ground. Only through pure coincidence, one of my guards sees the man and heads to the back alley. Stop or I'll have your head. One of my guards shouts at him, and the thief turns around, giving us an angry, shifty stare. You make for a damn good spy, master man. Unless I get my money back. No, it's a Philly. No, just kill him. Because even if you bring him in and he's Sunni Muslim, I think it'd be more trouble than it's worth. Just kill him and get my money back. I stroll around the market of Caesarea. A loud ruckus comes from a couple of stalls down for There's a furious man, animated waving his hands. Man, now I have your head for this, he yells at another merchant. Who looks as if possibly even. I would love to see him try. Oh. No, Stolen dismisses the merchant with a wave of his hand. Angrily turning the bodyguard's image clues to get one day or another. What the hell's it? But anyways. Seems a perfect time to make some coin. 99% chance to take advantage of the situation. Not greedy, it's just the amount of money that we'll be having and we're going to spend. Oh man, this is going to be one hell of a thing. As we walk through the streets of Gaza, a procession of soldiers emerge on the side street. Also are injured and aided by downtrodden civilians. Arrow proudly stands up in front of the throng of the people gathering around the marketplace and declares with a loud voice, "We have crushed those Yamanian dogs yet again. It's only a matter of time for victory is ours." Yet the celebratory words pales when I look at the injured soldiers and their grieving relatives. Maybe that's some wisdom to share from the battles. 27% chance I insult the survivors, 33% chance to hear stories about the battles, 22% chance to hear about Arabian strategic blunders, 17% chance to hear about how they fought. And I hear about how the Arabian fought, increasing my prowess more. The afternoons quickly turn into nightfall as we enter the local farm estates of Kozlum. The estate owner, or greats his warm me, proposes to host a lavish feast for us. Once the feast starts, we dine on a veritable menagerie of roast animals, stews, soups, bread, and the like. In the morning, Or approaches me as I join breakfast. My lord, I always think such an extravagant shindig as yesterday can be expensive. You should pay me for the prestige what I brought to your farm. while trying it, we came across some old ruins. Ruins so old we didn't even recognize them as ruins at first. We all thought they were just randomly placed stones. Only when Simon has knowledge of such ruins. He came close, he did recognize the site as man-made. The structure, he says, have been badly worn by the elements. As we briefly rest by these ruins, one of the remarks on his side, life's so ephemeral, isn't it? To think that these must have been some sort of glorious building ages ago. Someday, we too will be in even worse shape than these ruins. Then we must do great and valiant deeds while we still live. Whoa! God's ruins. Familiar sands, familiar river. Intimidate. Now, Civ and Nicodemus has been arguing for several hours as we trudge along the road. At this point, I don't even know how this idiotic argument got started. I'd rather not get involved. On the other hand, some of the others in the entourage are giving me these looks. Sounding telling me that as Duke, I should do something. We ought to convince these two fools to shut up. Ignore it, please. Stop the argument. Shakanda, my own brother. How dare you? I ought to throw you in jail for this. Keep scheming against me. You know, I ought to revoke your title for this. But you cannot execute because he's shrouded to his own location. Though it's tyranny, but executing my brother would be kinslaying. Justifiable reason for imprisonment and title revocation without incurring tyranny. How much is that? Well, that's intrigue challenge. My intrigue skill ain't that great. But how does that compare to Raphael? Cliff. Journey across Jabal Kozum. A caravan of laden camels crosses our path. The caravan master notices our entourage and halts the procession. Noble travelers, he calls out with a shrewd grin in his eye. Perhaps you fancy a glance at the treasures these sturdy beasts carry. For the right price, Noah's desk can accompany you on your travels. You know what? Give me something truly unique. I got lots of money to spend. Random faith artifact. A magnificent guide to the esoteric. And I'll be able to tell him that shows a modest understanding of mysticism is touched upon subjects that uses incense and chants. The cover is velvet that's been embroidered to display a repeating image of interlaced knot patterns. Yeah. Defensive measures. Alright, I am here now. Now, to get to illustrious, you need 3,500 more prestige. Yeah, my journey has been a long one. I finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed. Not a priest and bishop streaming. I've undergone a journey of a holy man. Did I? It insists on excuse about me, whether I can see myself or not. Alright, brother. Now look here. I could get rid of you right now. Oh, yeah, you'll accept all the way. You're a Courtier and lost of prestige. And plus, you're not even a damn, you're not even a damn Nubian. You're a Lombard. They demand to take vows first, you must recruit them. I could banish him, which is one way to get my title back. Yeah, banish would be the best option, although it does enact a bit of tyranny, but not as severe. But he may become an adventurer. 1 second, though. I get to perform all these tasks, of course, since I haven't done all that stuff. Let me see. Gain prestige, that's what I want. First things first, as Lord of the Mountain. Frontier land sales. Selling and purchasing private land happens in many places, not just the frontier of Egypt and Nubia, of course. However, because of the political circumstances of the frontier with the validity of these transactions are often scrutiny, officials such as myself, the Lord of the Mountain, have to be involved in these matters. A major land sale is about to take place in the territories managed along the frontier, and a seller requested that I and Mayor Marios, is it Marios or Marios? Marios makes more sense when you say it in a Greek way, as my subordinates serve as witnesses when the sale document is signed. Marios, who was asked to be a witness, as he has connections with some of the parties involved, suggested we dedicate extra resources to ensure this goes smoothly in case there are legal disputes or other complications. No need for that. Come now, it's just a routine procedure. 99% chance success. As requested, requested, Marios and I served as the highest ranking witnesses at the major land sale that just took place in the lands I manage in the frontier. Per the usual bureaucratic procedure, the documents we signed first listed King Jordanes, the supreme authority of the land, followed by other officials in the order of precedence. The procedure went very well, and the local notables involved us in the transition thanked us greatly for our time and support, also as a modest banquet for us, and gave us a nice trinket as gifts. This will reflect well on me as Lord of the Mountain. Thank you very much. But again, small gain, but we got a long way to go. There are ways to get more prestige than all that. Anyways, as I was replying to a friend. Okay, Shakanda, get out! You are banished. That's one way to get rid of you. Get out! And you give that title back to me. I have no choice but to accept the conditions for my release. So there you go. You are out of here, mister. And he's going to be heading to Solba, capital of Alodia. This land is Christian now. Yeah, it'll be back up in no time. So I'm happy. And there's ongoing construction. It's vulnerable to plague. I'm happy to have the gold mine back. Now, if only I could have your lands back. But I don't want to get rid of you, Raphael. Because you're an excellent commander, and we need people like you in our ranks. Although one of the easiest ways to do it, as I found out, is impute the crimes, but oof, can't do that. Unless he commits a crime. Yeah, just don't do anything that I wouldn't regret. Wouldn't regret? Ask of Asta the Grand Hook. Personality trait differences says no. I could intimidate him. Just to tell him, hey, stop doing that. Now they call me Marquess instead of Duke. It's just a reminder of who the hell I am. Right, there's way too. By the way, has there been any animal sightings in the realm? No? We need a new master hunt. Higher chance of sightings, you know. Ain't got no master of the horse. Look at all these, excellent. Pick the youngest. And that's you. Sophia, you've grown. Master Uday, you could be the tutor. Advanced research only. You could be the seneschal, but keep it improved. And remember, my aim is to re-establish the independent kingdom of Nobadia. Declare independence. But to do that, we've got to do every means of get lots of prestige. For once in our damn lives, let us assemble these states of the realm. And while you're at it, establish a trade route to get even more gold. What's the current flood? Oh, very low. This presents an opportunity to welcome these non-pastoralists in and bring them on in. What gives me more prestige gain? There's 25, 75. Import the cattle. Since ancient times, cattle has been the most esteemed livestock among the Nubians. Any Marquess knows that their people's prosperity depends on having adequate numbers of cattle to graze along the fertile lands near the Nile River. Powerful Coptic churches and well-to-do nobles, for instance, keep track of their wealth through their cattle herds. However, these days, these are trade routes that go far and wide, allowing us to import different breeds of cattle. Heretofore not present in Nubia in the days of yore, let us take steps to support the importation of such cattle into our lands along the Nile. Such diversity brings us benefits. Benefits us in the long term. That's for starters. Trade policies. So, this decision offers us a strategic path, allowing rulers to access to the coastal trade port to improve, protect, and customize their trading agenda to better suit their needs and aspirations. Policies can increase trade power or decrease pirate activity. You can issue one or more trade policies lasting 10 years. There are two base policies: foster trade and combat piracy. Up to 6 unique policies are unlocked with 16 or more skill points. Every active policy requires 2 assigned knights to the task. As we know, we did assign some more knights, in which we will get a few more at the moment. Anyways, take that off. So, trading in the Mediterranean region grants bonus gold income. We are not in the Mediterranean. plus the realm size, more than 12. So we're right up there. Powerful vassal is the reason. 2 Velvet Knights. No hostile allies by any knight. Spent some prestige for this. Alright. Maritime trade policies of medieval times were characterized by a focus on securing trade routes, fostering economic prosperity, and enhancing military capabilities. Rulers implemented measures such as combating piracy through naval patrols, investing in naval fleets to protect and expand trade networks, and strategically importing essential goods. Sponsorship of privateers was common for disrupting rival trade routes. Additionally, policies addressing religious tolerance played a role in creating a diverse and vibrant trading environments. Let's see. So reallocate manpower to enhance trade efficiency through strategic investments in infrastructure, seafaring, and diplomacy. This policy focuses on expanding trade routes, reducing barriers, and optimizing logistics to boost economic prosperity. Raises the realm's trade power value. Wow. This one, combat piracy. Implements strategic measures to eradicate piracy in maritime territories, ensuring merchant safety and trade route security. This policy aims to instill confidence in traders and maintain a stable environment for commerce. This reduces the chance of triggering pirate activity events. Well, since I have all skills, there's 2 other ways to support trade. One is tailored trade policies to strategically import essential resources, negotiating favorable agreements for key commodities crucial to the realm's development, grandeur, and stability. Because, mind you, foster trade gives you, well, you knock down number 9, so always has popular opinion up. Legislative chance goes up. Combating piracy, 2 knights, less levies, more monthly prestige. Although I'd rather gain prestige quick rather than monthly quicker. Legitimacy is no problem. Strategic imports, less knights, less monthly income. Development up, court grandeur bonus goes in. Religious tolerance, different faith opinion, but clergy opinion goes down. Cultural fascination progress, that would be nice if I was the culture head. Support privateers. So, religious tolerance, as it says. Foster inclusivity by promoting religious tolerance. Create a honest environment that may attract diverse traders and investors. You may face opposition from conservative elements or sect. Support privateers. Support private naval vessels, allowing legal engagement in acts of piracy against enemy vessels while effective in wartime. Sponsoring privateers may strain diplomatic relations and blur lines between state and private interests. Supporting privateers, dread, reduce mercenaries, all that. Okay. You know, just foster trade. Simple. The Knights will actively promote trade activities, focus on enhancing economic prosperity by encouraging seafaring ventures and expanding lucrative trade routes, which is something we've been doing lately. Personal agenda. Well, take your pick. I have said I need to confess and repent. Maybe. I don't know. Just pick this one for the intrigue. Since I do lack of it. What's my royal favor? I never really paid attention to that. Oof, the renown gain goes down a bit. And I don't like the knight effect of this here. You know what? Do dynasty first and knights later. Increase the social prestige of your dynasty. It matters to cultivate your role by ensuring its prosperity and legacy. And in your free time, you can meditate, if you so wish. If you're stressed or trying to get some insights here. Well, done a lot lately. So you say, yeah, I've done enough work here for today. Invite a few knights over here and I will go meditate. Embarking on an inner journey through meditation is no trivial thing. Many preparations will need to be made, at least to which the sun shall retreat to. The location I choose to meditate will heavily influence the outcome of my journey. But the remote mountains of Antiquity. Get a private army, no cost. That's for good reason. Yeah, just like to meditate for a bit, and then when I come back, then we'll get to do some other activities that'll require me to get more prestige. Just walk through the church, so I hear a group of travelers talking quietly to one another. One of a man starts describing, comparing the church of his journey to Alexandria. I can't help but listen on the conversation continues, go into detail about the fantastic things he saw in Alexandria. Looking around, I can only imagine how much of this better than the dainty sight I see here. You know what? Tell me more about Alexandria. Perhaps convince him to tell me more all about it. So, if I go on a pilgrimage to Alexandria, it'll give me more prestige and stress loss over there. There will be a time for that. Time to meditate. One of these days I gotta get all that land back. But to do that, well, you can request a claim, neither of which will be willing to give because vassal, lower rank. All that. My mother has passed as I become the new house head. She died of old age. And I'm the new dynasty head as well. Obvious is obvious. I'm the eldest. King Jordanus IV of Acuria. As the estates around were assembled, it soon became clear that the discussions were going on and not about any significant breakthroughs. Everyone was entrenched in their own positions, that the ability to compromise is almost nil. As all Sparrow was unable to steer and lead the discussion or prevent a more positive result. All in all, this was a frustrating affair where nothing truly relevant was accomplished. It was all for naught. Damn it. And look, he decided to become an adventurer too. Make me the steward. Okay, I lose prestige gain, but gain a lot more tax. Not to mention monthly lifestyle experience related to stewardship. Be getting all of these in no time. As I would like to be the architect. The architect of the future independent kingdom of Nobadia. The minimum duelist. What the hell? That's random. My attempt to establish trade on my domains was a failure, as my political decisions and actions on the ground were not enough to gold merchants that linked their business from far away placed in my accounts. Gold's been thrown away. Damn it! Better start earning more prestige, boy. Because you're not going to get that fame. Anyway. Importing gold and ivory. I already have claims of all his titles. Do I? Why, I do. That means I can revoke him without incurring tyranny. I could get it all right away. Yes. But not now. So, which means, I can take his titles back, but he might rebel. And he's the one with the best generalship, but that was smaller. The thin mountain air of Antiquity cleared my thoughts as I focused inward. Meditating in isolation, I was suddenly struck with an epiphany. The presence of man in the world and how we fit in natural order, another piece of the universal puzzle. Put it to place. This experience will stay with me forever. As I will return. As we walked through Courtiers, we're caught up in a crowd of people waiting with a large cart full of building materials to move out of the way. I don't need your stuff. I already got cheaper elsewhere. Somewhere else. No, shouts. No, looks crestfallen. Could use. But what are we supposed to do with all this then? Responds weakly, more to himself than anything else. I'll buy all your materials. So, we don't have anything to build right now, but it'll be useful to have. Like, say, build a duchy building. I mean, there's one, but I don't want to build that. So I do have a claims for all these. All I need to do is, well, somehow get rid of them, but to do that, I need to get a hook on that man. Without incurring tyranny. Find some dirt on him. I know it's already in his brain, but there's got to be something, because I want all the land. Or maybe just have this because of the mining settlement here. I forgot that I could do a grand tour. This is like the best way to gain prestige. Oh, offensive dreams. Missed one here. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Yeah, why didn't I think of that before? Go on a grand tour. A Majesty tour, which gives you lots of prestige. Visit everybody. Yes. Okay, let's do it clockwise. And bring the Silk Road merchants with you. And I get to visit all these places. And you know what, after this last stop, I want you to visit these two little sites here. And then that's that. Prestige gain. Yeah, you know what, throw all of that in for prestige gain. Yeah, I'm throwing a bunch of that money in because I forgot that this is a Grand Majesty tour. We never did that at past tours because we never had the money to do such a thing. My time has come to depart for my grand tour of Nobadia. My court is packed, ready and rearing to go. First up will be my spymaster, Countess Jimenez Castle over in Zeth. I look forward to visiting her and seeing my realm, one holding at a time. I'm certain that the March of Nobadia's subjects will speak my benevolence for a long time to come. Can't wait. I receive a welcome worthy of a Marquess at the gates of Countess Jimenez Castle in Zeth. There's little doubt that the splendor of my train has made a great impression. This is a rare opportunity to join myself in the good company of the daughter of House Sai. Many explains that the planned evening banquet, promising entertainments and victuals on offer, will near the standards of my own Courtiers' dinners. It assures me that only the finest food she has to offer. Let's begin. This is going to be the only one of the dinner activity. Dinner this evening is a little different from what I'm used to. The cook lackadaisically drops the bowl in front of me and I immediately have the most unworldly aroma I've ever smelled in my life. This dish is from the depths of hell, is offensive to all the senses. Some slimy green substance sits in its pale foamy broth like an untended chamber pot, with a single sprig of herb placed on top of the futile ever makes the thing look appetizing. My every instinct compels me to fling the thing out of the nearest window, but Countess Jimenez assures me it's a local delicacy worth of Marquess. Well, down the hatch! This delicacy was incredible. Didn't get it. The money. It's another evening of my stay at Jimenez's home, and yet another foreign meal is placed in front of me. I knock it around a little with my knife, watch as the dark, unfamiliar sauce slides on like cascading mud. Oh, when I wouldn't give some food from the capital. Just some sample candied figs would be fine. I could ask Minor for something back home, of course, but I risk causing offense. Oh, I'm sure local food is fine. My master hunter, Starkios, approached me, claiming I haven't been given his permission to come join the court and place my own. Letting his pastor certainly improve my standing with gods, but it is an insult of stealing members of my court's church that I can overlook. Go where your heart pleases. There's always someone better. Not to mention he was also my bodyguard. Benevolent presence. Patronage in the arts, as it says. 1 second. For bestowing favor. To immortalize my family's legacy, I've exclusively patronized the artists, writers, and musicians from my dynasty. The move, however, drew criticism from the creative community and art theorists who lamented lack of diversity in cultural representation. I've concluded my royal visitation here, as I now my procession prepares to depart. The minute and records all lined up to see me part. With everyone's presence, time to collect tribute for bestowing of my presence. It's time for tribute. And she did. Yeah, why didn't I think of that before? Grand tours. Happy to earn more gold so we can do other activities that'll be more prestige intensive. Right, arrived near Dorico's castle in Kablasha. It's marked a fanfare befitting the Marquess of the realm, and the locals are clearly awed by the grandeur and pomp of my escort. Chance to see my vassal with her situation lives up to the nobility of House Sai. Dorico outlines the plan to her and shows me that Kablasha is so fair and fine a land that merely gazing on her towns and fields will be entertainment enough. Only time will tell. Let's get to it. As I continue my tour around the grounds of the barony of Calypso, I hear unfamiliar voices all around me. Suddenly I find my entire party surrounded by men in hoods, pointing knives and bows directly at me. One of the assassins steps towards the presence knife to myself. Happy hunting, my lord. We've come hunting Marquesses. Though it's startled at first, it becomes clear that it's just an act. The assassin gives me a wink and observes their weapons to be entirely wood and dull on all sides. They expect to play along in the full intent of my life. Have at your knife. The martial prowess of Calathos is well known in Dorico's court. If you want to discuss plans of attack, the best approach towards sharpening weapons and wit. Where you go to him is a skill hardly sought after and something that intrigues me. I simply must have him in my court. Yeah, he is. I'm sure he wouldn't mind, would it? Address me directly. My liege, if I contemplate a matter, conclusion that he shall gladly join your most gracious court. Much appreciated. Thank you. Oh, this again? As I've taken to see all the sights of the barony club, so I begin to notice the absolute opulence of all. Though merely a countess, Darko lives in relative luxury and clears more than enough coin to go around. Looking at the sheer number of widows there about, I could introduce a window tax and plead the causes of our excess. What do you think? Window tax? She refused the tax. I could imprison her for that, but that seems a little excessive. Plus, I don't want her land. Maybe just to pay her the penalty of ransom, and that's it. Time for tribute. She gave in. I might imprison you later. Just to ransom you as a penalty for not doing a window tax. Come on. There's gotta be dirt on that man. Before I have plans to get rid of him. And then hold all the territory to myself. Cultural festival here. Streets out were richly decorated for my arrival. My vassal Count Raphael dutifully waits me. Oh, how I yearn to delight myself with the great activities and joys down. Sure, Raphael's prepared, and to show these people the extent of my magnificence. Let's get started, huh? I ain't got any dread. Impossible. So. I think it would be wise to like the direction towards defensive negotiations would be good if I ever go that route. We're halfway done. We'll end this episode when this grand tour is over. Hey, we have the same hairstyle. The what law? Oh yeah, you've just been crowned. Once again, this coronation ceremony. I'll be king one day, just not of Mercuria. A group of locals take the stage of what seems to be the longest, blandest sermon I've ever heard. I try to keep my eyes open, but soon enough, piles of hay at the corner of the street look a bit too comfortable, a bit too tempting. I must stay awake. I didn't even look at the traits of my liege. Greedy sinner and a friend of mine. Been friends since childhood. Streets hanging with tapestries. Ah, the smell of freshly cooked goat. No way, Dobbs shines during this time of year. A bonfire has been lit at the center of town to celebrate the victory of the brightest of stars, ascending to heaven above. Amid the reveling and drinking of Violet Shaba, one of the locals starts a song that all join into. Summer has arrived. Loudly sing, pigeon. The seed is growing. The meadow is blooming. Sing, seagull. The Beja people have become a bit more tolerant of us. But we share the same heritage. So it's glad to see them that they're on our side here. Such a lovely celebration. Alright, time for tribute. He gave in. Of course, you're my brother. Streets of Wally have been richly decorated for my arrival, and my vassal Hudbadeo dutifully waits me. How I will yearn to delight myself with great activities and joys. I'm prepared to show these people the extent of my magnificence. See if we can get up to tier 3. See the amount of prestige that we're going to gain from all this, plus renown. It'll do wonders. This is why all the money is going to be used for anything that's prestige related. We'll do more of that in the next episode. Maris Akorskos died. You were a good man, man. You're one of the ones that tried to steal an artifact from me. Karen Master. Throw her in jail. Raphael, you'll be the marshal. No one's better than you at this time. Acrobats jump in colorful tires. One opens his mouth to catch a ball that another one throws, and the public erupts to cheers. The music soon follows. I've heard the song before. Most of them sound too similar. Even from the dies I can hear pets loudly singing along. And the field stance of woof, woof, woof. A figure decides to join in, sound juggling balls. Get that dog! You know, I could take it back with me. I'll have a pet dog for once. As I pet the dog on the head, he happily wags his tail. What name would suit him? Something historical? Something Lulu is great for? It's an important decision. As the dog rolls over, let me pet his stomach. I find him so distracted for a while. Oh wait, I know, I will name him Gray. What a great name. I follow her as it shows you right around the vessel. And now, she announces, as we enter the castle grounds. What I expect to be pleasant surprise. I raise my eyebrows. We find a marvelous fountain, all in white stone. It was so by covers running with clear juice. So we got around it, laughing at throwing coins as well. It would be waste not to make a wish. He stopped converting. Now we're touring the grounds of Kyrgyz. We managed to reach tier 3. One more time. Huh. How about you? Being raided. Oh, they're down there. Did you see that? In my bid to secure my family's prosperity, I gifted lavish estates to my relatives, raising their social standing. However, the extravagant favors drew ire from the colonies who credited fairness as such preferential treatment. Hara and Sidama cultures. Horn African and East African. Interesting. I would never form a hybrid culture in this playthrough. No plans for it. Indecisive leadership. So, whispers persist about this character's decisive leadership style. As they struggle to make timely and effective decisions, their hesitation and inability to take decisive action lead to a lack of direction and confusion with the court, leaving courtiers unsure of the realm's course of action. Yeah, he's never a dreadful person. Building construction time goes down a bit, which is no good. Thank you very much. Now we'll go visit a few places, then we'll be back home. Our journey brings us to Nuri, where the rhythmic hammering of blacksmiths forms the heartbeat of local commerce. Smoke billows from chimneys of smiths, bathed in sweat and soot, shape the raw into the remarkable. One of the blacksmiths wipes around brackets because, "Welcome, my lord. We are master Nubian smiths, the best there is. Please do pursue our wares." A set of armor wouldn't go amiss. 1 second. Organize muster rolls. Oh yeah, well on our way. Okay. I already have a weapon, which is still Abdullah's battle axe, now improved. So, give me a set of armor, as we never had armor before. This is shiny scale armor. Basic. This armor is constructed from excellently crafted bronze scales that are fastened to the backing of leather. The set includes a nasal helmet and a mail cuff, powdered with cotton. The whole armor has been decorated with silver inlays, displaying a repeating image of the cross. Could have been better. I ought to repair that crown. And same for the regalia. Right, with the learning, go for scientific, just in case I become the culture head whenever I do the whole independent kingdom thing. Shortcut. Got the money at last. Alright. County controls up. I gained 300 prestige and 300 renown. Well, I guess it was tier 2, we didn't go all the way to tier 3. The score was 80. If only we had more vassals, but oh well. Vassal tax contribution goes up in the next 20 years. Good gain for the prestige. I will be sure to do more of that as we will end this episode on the 1st of January on the year 1000. With very high novel flood. Hell of a way. Damn right. So, Anyways, we got more prestigious activities to do in the next episode. Because in the next episode, this could be likely be the episode that will see the re-establishment of the Kingdom of Nobadia. And we'll do more of these other things, including, well, get these lands back into my personal control, where I will be rich as heck. And then we'll launch a golden age with the formation of the new Kingdom of Nobadia. And we'll use that money to do the legend related to the foundation or re-establishing Nobadia and all that. So, we hope you people look forward to all that and more. So we'll see you in the next one. But until then, so long for now.